Hey folks, Lone Gold Miner here. Kind of excited. Just picked up my 12x8 Evolution coil Ron sent me from Ron's Detectors. And I'm going to unpack it pretty soon. We're going to go to a little site and do a little detecting. So we're not going to go up there. That's my leaf gold mine that I'm working, tailing piles. But we're definitely going to hit that pretty soon with the 12x8. We're going to go to another spot where the ground is pretty hot. It's a tailing pile. A few weeks back, I picked up a little 1/3 of a gram piece, and with the 17x13. So I'm just going to take this 12x8, and we're going to go run it for a few hours to see how it handles the hot ground, and maybe if we pick up a piece of gold. But basically, I'm just going to go out there and test it out and see how I like it. Let's get to it. Now, one reason I didn't get the 12-inch round is because I really needed a smaller elliptical coil to get into the dry streams in the summer. They vary between a foot to 2-3 feet wide, and they're just seasonal streams. The water runs there only in the winter, and it just dries up pretty quick. In fact, they're all dried up right now, but they're still wet. But that's one reason I picked up an elliptical 12x8. I can still cover a little bit of ground with it. And sure, the 12-inch round may go just quite a little bit deeper, but you have to have the equipment for the job. It's like a trade, anything. If you don't have the tools, you're not going to be able to effectively hunt the spot that you intend to hunt. So it's really good to have multiple coils. I'm not saying get ridiculous and crazy with it, but four coils, small, medium, large, and a specialty coil. It would be just enough as far as I'm concerned. But anyhow, let's park and let's go unpack this coil, see what it looks like. All right, first let's disconnect the 17x13 Nuggetfinder Evolution and put the other one on. I always have some tape with me. I liked it. I don't use clips for the coil wire. I just wrap it around and use black electrical tape. And I find that it's a good idea to have tape with you. One thing I do need to do is get replacements for this. This is kind of like my only one that I have, so I may have to order a few from Ron. Okay, let's unbox it. Wow, look at this. Look at that coil. Very nice. Let's compare it to the 17x13. There's a 17x13, and this is the 12x8. And the next one will be a 6x8, which would be Advantage Sadie coil. I believe now they have a new one. It's black. It's called the MK2 or MK3. But I'm hoping this replaces my Sadie and is just as sensitive to it. And of course, like I said before, very nice. Oh, look at that. He even put in exactly what I needed. Thank you, Ron. Coil cover is on there. Very good shape. Okay, excellent. Let's put her on. There she is. She looks marvelous. All right. So when you put this on, make sure the wire, you have a little loop there. So in case you want to check walls, vertical walls. So that's perfect right there. So basically what I do is just hold on to it and I do a few spins of the tape. And then what I do, I straighten that out about a foot from the coil and I tape it again. There we go. Beautiful. And then all we got to do is spin it around and connect it to the box. And then right there and just underneath here, straight shot in there, no twisties, nothing, where it's just putting a lot of strain on the cable. Just a nice, smooth transition from spinning it around and straight shot into the connector. Anyhow, let's give it a test run. Okay. All right, we're on that, not on that tailing pile yet, but I have a little flat area here that I want to check. In the past, I picked up, quite a bit of gold right in this little spot. But I want to try it out right here and see if it'll pick up any targets. And this is like what I call a dead zone. There's no targets in here. So we're going to see if this coil will pick up anything. I'll be able to tell because I've been on this ground literally 100 times, if not more, with multiple coils. The last nugget, the 2 nuggets we found was a 4-grammer just past that little bush right there. And then down about another 200 feet, we found that 3-grammer. So anyway, let me ground balance this out and set the settings. And okay, I just want to make sure. You should always check your settings in case you've hit it and moved the toggles. There's been times when I was in cancel and I was on a site detecting, and I didn't realize this, but I've gone for like 2 hours without a target, and then I looked down and it was on a cancel mode, and cancel mode, it just doesn't work for this area. So anyway, we're enhanced, we're in fixed, we're in search mode, we're in general, and mono coil, of course. Let me put it through frequency, and I'll bring you right back. All right, I think we may have a signal here. Let me clear some of that grass there. First thing I observed is obviously it's a smaller coil. It's so much easier on my shoulders. Just perfect little size, 12-inch round or 12-inch elliptical. I'd recommend anyone to have that in their arsenal as far as equipment. You see how the elliptical is? It's going to be great in creeks and really tight spots underneath bushes and stuff like that. You can't go wrong with a 12 by 8 or a 12-inch round. So anyhow, not sure if it's a target, but it's also responding. I've noticed on hot grounds, it's going to go off on a hot ground or there's mineralized zones. So that's with any coil. So I can't, judge this coil, but we may have a legit target here. Let me dig it out some more. Definitely sounds like a target. Okay. One thing I forgot was my green scoop, so give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, here's the scoop, and we have the target in here. Let's see what it is. Now, I was over this with a 17 by 13 in a few of my videos, and I did not, hear the target. With this coil, it was like, there it is, it's unmistakable. Now, whether it's a good target or a bad target, I don't know. But main thing is we heard it. Whenever I see like rusty objects, could this be it? I think so. Yep. Well, it's just a piece of rusty metal, but we got that out of the ground, and we didn't hear it before, so that's a good sign in my book. Let's take a look if it's iron. I'm pretty sure this is iron. Yep, iron. Let's put that in a trash bag, fill in this hole, and let's keep going. All right, we're on our second target. Let's clear that grass and see what this is. Okay, that is just a hot patch right there. So we're gonna move on. One thing I noticed too, the threshold is very smooth, and I'm running it at 13 gain on the 4500. 15 gain is the max on the 45. I believe in the 5000 it's 20 max, so I'm running it up high, and of course I'm ground balancing it manually. So right here, I don't know, I thought I sensed something, but it could be just the slope right there. It could be just, I'm just going to clear an inch just to see what it is. I don't think it's a signal. I think it's just the when it slopes and you move your coil from the bottom to the top and back, sometimes you'll get a target signal. So anyway, I'm just going to clear it out just to verify that it's not a target. All right, as you see, I took the blade end of my pick and I shaved it down about 2 inches, but I also shaved it a little bit bigger just so I could have a smooth, I could run my coil really flat. I mean, I'm actually touching the ground and I go very slow. So it appears like I may have a target there, but I'm not sure again. Could be ground noise. So it's right there where my toe is. So I'm gonna shave some more and let's see if it is a target. All right, after going another 3/4 to 1 inch, I can 100% accurately tell you that that was not a target. It was just a little hot patch. You could tell the soil, it's very, has a lot of iron in it. It's orange. Okay, nothing there. Let's fill in the hole and continue on. All right, that flat area, I picked up a few pieces of trash that I never picked up before. So far, I'm really thrilled with this coil. We're gonna head that way upstream and check out an area and see what we get. Okay, folks, I got a target. I've been through here, like I said, with my 17 by 13, but the target's right there. All right, let me take a look. All right, I have it, finally. I think I see yellow, folks. I think I see yellow. Oh, there it is. You see it? Oh, yeah. The 12 by 8 scores a nugget. Okay, well, it's a tiny nugget. But we got our first piece of gold with the 12 by 8. All right. I'm a happy feller. Let's clean it up. There she is, folks. We got gold. And like I said, I've been through here. We're just gonna have to go a lot slower, and we're gonna have to go back to all our, grounds and hit it with this coil because for some reason, the 13 or 17 by 13 just didn't pick it up. And that's what I'm talking about, having at least 3-4 coils. Look at that piece. Look at that. Genuine Motherlode gold, folks, from California. Yep, we don't have the gold like Australia does, but you know what? I think we're probably close to second. So this is pretty special. Yeah, I'm thrilled. All right, let's continue on. Let's search that spot again. Just the surrounding area. Make sure it's clear. Okay, well, I just dropped my pick. So let me pick up my pick, and I think not far from my last target. I don't know, but I may have a target here. Oh, I'm so thrilled. I got the first. That was my whole goal today. Just find one piece, and within the hour, we found first piece. I would say that piece probably weighs 0.4, 0.5, half a gram. That's my guess. Anyway, let me shave some of this off and see if we get a target here. We don't want to go too deep. This pick's turning out to be pretty good. All right. Okay, well, nothing. I'm going to go down another inch or two, just to be sure. All right, I am 100% sure there's no target here. Yep, nothing. All right, let's continue. Okay, I got a tiny little, I think it's a target. I don't know. Very, very faint. I'm gonna have to clear it, just make sure it's a target. Okay, it's clear, 100%, not target. Let's continue down there and work that little slope. Okay. Got a target. Legit target. Sounds like a legit target. Nothing here. Ground balance. Keep it down and go back. Well, shoot. Let's see. I could be wrong. I'm gonna clear that anyway. Seems like after I ground balanced it, the target noise or whatever that was went away. So yeah, I think it was just ground noise. Let me check it. Okay, I think I have a target here. Let's try this one out. All right, so we're at that spot that I was telling you about, right across that creek. Very hot ground, especially now since it's moist and wet. And then in this spot right here, we're going to check the surrounding area, see if we could squeeze out another nugget. All right, see you in the next target. All right, right here, I had a little signal right up top of there. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but got to constantly ground. Okay, it's quiet now. Then I went down this way. Where's it at? Right there. Seems like there's a little repetitive. Let me put my magnet to it. Tiny. It's got to be a tiny target. Okay, it's still there. Let me try one more time with the magnet. Got to be real careful. It just sounds really tiny. All right, let's try it now. Yeah, it's still there. Let's give her a try. I don't know what this is right here. Okay, just a magnetic rock. All right, let's get down there and see what it is. Doesn't sound like much. All right, we're gonna move on from this. It's either the tiniest mosquito poop ever, and that's just, I'm not gonna bother with it. I don't think it's anything. I think it was just maybe a hot rock. It's gone. I mean, I cannot even find it. I mean, I am in some hot ground here, so we're gonna continue on, find a better target. Okay, I might have just made a mistake. I might have brought it down further down here. So yeah, when I was scraping the ground, see that bunch right here? Got a target right there. Right at the end. Right where the tip is. All right. That was it. I don't know what I was chasing before. I'm like, I thought it sounded better than that up there. So let's see what this is right here. Don't have it yet. Okay, I definitely hear that. Okay, whew, that's loud. I got it in here. Probably a pellet or something. I don't see any yellow. Okay, there we go. It's just a piece of ferrous. Yep. All right, that's all it was. There goes 10, 15 minutes on that. Let's continue. Well, the positive thing about that is I didn't pick it up with any other coil, and this little baby here picked it up. So, you know, something there, right? Something to be said about that. Before I purchased this, I was like, 12-inch round or elliptical. I was just tossing, and then I contacted Ron, and he's like, hey, I have a 12 by 8. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, great. I think I'm going to get it. And then I was like almost second guessing myself, like, and then I'm like, I'm just going to go for it. Okay. Oh, got a target here. But there's a rock there, so I hope it's not a hot rock. But anyway, yeah, I'm very pleasantly happy with this. Okay. Let's just go down here, see what it is. Sounds like iron. All right, now let's find out where it's at. All right, I'll bring it right back. All right, sounds terrible, but we got to dig it. I think I see it. It's a tiny little boot tack, the tiniest little boot tack. Wow, look at that. It's even got this head on top. You probably don't see it, but tiny little thing. Okay, cool. Missed it before. Let's continue. I'm chasing another target right there. Sounds like iron, and the reason I say that is because, like the last nugget that I found, as you take the coil over to target, right in the center of it, there comes a high tone, a very high pitch, high, and it goes down low. So it goes low, high, low, low, high, low. The iron tends to sound like just continually starts out low, stays low, pitches low, and goes down low. It's indicative to like when you're using a double D or you're chasing a very deep, wide target, and where 2-3 feet you're hearing this low pitch, but I don't know. Let me just dig this, see what it is. Okay, you can probably hear it through my headphones. Right there. I'm gonna guess, make a guess. Why not? Square nail. Okay, here we are. There it is. Is this it? Feels like a twig. Oh, it's just a rusty, yeah, it's a rusty end of a square nail. There it is. It was down pretty deep. Let's make sure both of those pieces get back in the pouch. All right. Yeah, so there you go. Iron. Oh, I was just thinking, folks. I put in 100. This is going to be 164th video. I have 600 subscribers, 610, something like that. Try to hit like or subscribe if you haven't. You know, I guess like all the other pros, they're like, they keep always mentioning press like, subscribe, make a comment. It helps YouTube algorithm. I don't even know what that is. Okay, I'm an old guy. I'm a dinosaur. I don't know. I'm not a very techie guy. I just point my camera and I shoot, and I have a free app on UCuts and I edit best I can. But for 163 videos, and I think in May, it'll be a year that I've been doing this. You know, you would think it'd be a little higher than that. But anyhow, press like, make a comment, subscribe. Some of my subscribers actually do that to help the algorithm. What a weird name. There's a fact that kind of segues to other things. You know, only us people who are 50 and over get it. These new words, it's like, what's the word? I never understood what it was. Gaslighting. You're gaslighting me. I'm like, what? Gaslighting? I don't think a gas and lighting should mix. And then what's the other one? I just heard catfishing. I think I'm getting too old. Or the other one, you're ghosting me. You're ghosting me. Holy crap. Sorry, but you know, anybody 55 and over, you know, you guys, you got to understand, man, that in the 80s and 70s and early 90s, we didn't have these words. And all you're doing is messing with our head. But anyway, how do we get to that? I don't know. Oh yeah, the word algorithm. All these new words. That's just the way it is, I guess. Oh, the other thing that gets me is when you're, instead of communicating with real words, you put on letters, and I'm supposed to understand what you're telling me. It's like, okay. Anyway, enough of that. I have to get it off my chest. I can't be the only one. I don't know where this world's headed to, but in my opinion, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you my opinion, am I? We'll stop here. All right, let's continue. Ooh, do I have a... Oh, you know what? Let me get back to this. This is the little pile that I want to check right there. Okay, let me check it. Okay. So anyway, for some reason, this side of the creek that goes up the hillside is very, very, very hot. And I cannot run it any quieter. I mean, I reduced the gain. I put it in enhance, blah, blah. You know, I'm going very low speed. And for some reason, anyway, it appears like I have a target here. But more than likely, it's a just hot ground, mineralized ground. Let me dig that out and see what that is. Yeah, that was very, very hot ground. There was a cobble of dirt there. When I went over, it sounded like pretty good. And then when I put my foot on it, squished it, it's gone. There's no more target. Like that one right there is giving me, see that little cobble right here? You squish it. It's gone. Anyway, let's continue on. As you see, I'm just walking up this creek and I'm working the side benches from the center of the creek. That other spot with the tailing is just extremely hot. Okay. Sounds like a target. Let's dig it up. All right, it's not very deep, but I can't stress not to dig too deep. Scrape the dirt. A lot of times it's a tiny target at the surface, and if you dig too deep, you're gonna have a heck of a time locating it. So anyway, let me relocate this. It's right in there where the toe is. So let's get the scooper and try to dig it out. All right, bring you right back. Okay, it's right here. Still in there. It's out. Usually you see the nugget right away if there's one in there, unless it's in a dirt clog. Then you won't see it until you break it up. But anyway, let's be careful with this. You never know. Sounds like a piece of metal. I don't know what the heck it is. It's got to be tiny. Yep. There it is. Piece of iron. Oops. Yep. There it is, folks. Right there. Look at that. Look how small that is. All right, let's continue. Okay, I got a target here, but I'm near a spot where there's a lot of trash, so let's just dig this out. It's a tailing pile, just so you know what I'm digging. Among hundreds of thousands of tailing piles in the Sierras. Okay, it's still there. Okay, I'll bring it right back. Okay, it's in here. I have to say, this smaller coil really picks up the tiniest bits. I should clean this scoop. Anyway, it's in here. Let's figure out what it is. There it is. There you go. Right there. I have to say, that was down pretty, a few inches. Let's see if it's ferrous. Yep, ferrous. Let's continue. All right, folks. Let's get out of this spot and let's go to another area and try that. A little bit more flat grounds. Also an area I found gold before. And let's just give it a quick test and see how it goes. See you there. All right, got a target here. We're going to go a little bit longer and call it a day. I'm satisfied with this coil. Completely thrilled that I have something lighter. And now I could go with confidence and know that I could get the smaller sub-gram, multi-gram targets a little deeper. And like I said, when you're comfortable, your shoulders are comfortable, your body's not aching, at the end of the day where you just want to quit because you have a heavy coil, that's also a pro as far as I'm concerned. When you're going out for a day. I think I have a target right here. Pretty sure. So yeah, 12x8 Nuggetfinder Evolution. I know I'm kind of late to the game on this. It's been around. This coil's been around probably like 7 years, 8 years, but it doesn't matter. You know, I know a lot of you guys are going to get the 8,000. Oh, on that note, I didn't know that a Mind Lab was bought by, I don't know if it's true. I mean, I could be just talking out my ear. Mind Lab was bought by a U.S. company. I don't know if anybody knows if that's true or not. Okay, here we go. And also, how many of you guys are waiting for the Nocta Magneto detector? I guess it's their first pulse induction detector. That's something exciting to, watch out for, especially in, nugget hunting features and, what the price is. Of course, the 8,000's like way up there, but gold's up too. So, it's not for everybody. You shouldn't get a new machine and break your bank account just because a new one comes out. But hey, for those guys out there who are making a living off of it and they count on new technologies, and if it works, go for it, So, a lot of exciting things coming in the detecting world. And it'll be really cool keeping an eye on, like, people, real, nugget hunters throughout the world, see what their reviews are and what they think of it. Okay, let's dig this puppy up. Okay, it's moved. It's around here somewhere. Let's locate it. All right, I think we have it. Almost sounds like a 22 or something, but 22 should be louder. I don't see any yellow, but I don't see a 22. I don't see much of anything. Oh, shoot. I just dumped it. I have to find it. Okay, folks, I found it. There it is. That's that little thing right there. Look how tiny that is. Tiny. My battery is running out of juice, but I'm actually ready to get out of here. We'll do a little finds, what do they call that at the end of the hunt? We'll look at the finds and the gold nugget one more time, and that's pretty small. So it goes to show you that little 12x8 can catch the really small stuff. And let's see if it's a Ferris. Yep, it's Ferris. All right, see you at the truck. Anyway, here we are, folks. There's the nugget we found right there. Pretty cool. Pleasantly surprised. Not pleasantly, I'm just surprised. There's a little boot tack, that little square nail, a couple pieces of junk, and that's it for a 2.5 hour hunt. Not too shabby. As far as the nugget, I don't know, I'm guessing 0.4, 0.5. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll let you know in the video. Like I said, I have about 3 on my power and it's going to go out. Just want to finish it off. Thanks for hanging out with me if you made it this far. Like I said before, hit like, subscribe, blah, blah. And I don't know. Just do it. Have a great day. Bye.